Hello, this is Tim Collins coming to you again with our weekend word. This week and next week, I want to talk to you about the three little pigs. You know, I like to have a brilliant illustration every week, or at least something scintillating. So this week I have a pig. Psalm 127:1 says, "Unless the Lord builds the house, its builders labor in vain." You know the story of the three little pigs. One who built a house with straw, another one with sticks, another one with bricks. And the wolf came, blew away the straw house, the house made of sticks, and then the other pigs ran into the house that was made of bricks. They were very glad that somebody had taken the time and effort and expense to build a house that would last through whatever the wolf threw at them. Well, what we're building the house with is very important. We'll talk about that next week, but this week I want to talk about what we build it on, the foundation that we build it on. Jesus told a parable in Luke chapter 6, beginning at verse 47. "I will show you what he is like who comes to me and hears my words and puts them into practice. He is like a man building a house who dug down deep and laid the foundation on rock. When the flood came, the torrent struck that house but could not shake it because it was well built. But the one who hears my words and does not put them into practice is like a man who built a house on the ground without a foundation. The moment the torrent struck that house, it collapsed, and its destruction was complete." So it's necessary to build a house on a solid foundation. And if you notice in verse 47, he says, this is what someone who hears his words and puts them into practice. See, it's not enough to just hear the Word of God and learn the Word of God and become a student of the Word of God. We must put His Word into practice to build on a solid foundation. He introduced this parable with a very pertinent question in verse 45. He said, "Why do you call me Lord, Lord, and do not do what I say?" Boy, doesn't that describe a lot of church folks today. We go to church, we hear the Word of God, goes in one ear and out the other, and we never put into practice what we learn. Being a student of the Word and being a disciple of Christ are not the same thing. What we build with our lives must be built on the foundation of His Word, because Jesus and His Word are inseparable. John wrote, John 1:1, "In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God." And he went on down in verse 14, he said, "The Word became flesh and made His dwelling among us." Jesus, His Word, is the foundation that we must build our lives on. 1 Corinthians 3:11 says, "For no one can lay any foundation other than the one already laid, which is Jesus Christ." Make sure that what you're doing with your life is going to matter in eternity. Make sure that what you're doing with your life is built on a solid rock that won't be swept around by a storm, a torrent, a wind. A solid foundation, Jesus and His Word. Not just hearing His Word, but doing His Word as well. That's the foundation we must be building on if we want to make it through this life and have eternal treasure in heaven. Well, this is a blessing to you, and I hope you'll be in church on Sunday spending some quality time with God. Thank you, and God bless you. We love you.